I'm kind of going for like neutral daytime fish today. I don't know like how well I'm doing, but I like it. I think I like it. It's kind of, I think it works. Unless the camera like hates me and it just shows me like evil and ugly. So I decided that I was going to do a favourites video. Okay, so I'm going to start with a primer, and this is Urban Decay's Pore Perfecting Primer, whatever it's called. I didn't used to use primers. I have tried them before, obviously, and every time that I've tried to kind of use a primer before, it's kind of usually kind of fucked up my skin a little bit, something like that, you know, just doesn't kind of work properly, makes the makeup look worse if anything. Perhaps I was just doing it wrong, or maybe I wasn't applying them right before or something, but like this, the first time I tried it, like I fell in love with it. My brother was the person who kind of persuaded me to try a primer because, you know, I was moaning about certain things and I was like, oh, try a primer. Recommended an Urban Decay one, so I obviously got it and I fell in love. I think this is a really, really great primer. You don't need a whole lot and it just kind of sets a really, really great base for the rest of your makeup. So if you're after a decent primer, I would definitely recommend this one. I'm not going to do the Gigi thing where I throw everything behind me though, so... Ooh, girl. So sticking to the kind of primer vibe, I'm going to show you two, well, I guess like kind of classes eye primers. They're both paint popped by MAC, and the two shades that I'm in love with are Camel Coat, which is this colour. It's kind of like a deep taupe. It definitely applies darker than it looks there, if that makes sense. I'm not wearing this one today though, so you can't really see. And then Painterly, which I think is one that everyone pretty much has, and I, for some reason, only just got it. It's a lot paler, and it just applies like beautifully. They're so smooth, I can just do it with my fingers, pat it into place, and this is like honestly the replacement to my Urban Decay Primer Potion, which I always kind of swore by. But like lately I've been wearing like heavier makeup, and it just doesn't seem to keep my makeup in place as much as, you know, it used to when I used to wear kind of like a little bit less, I guess. But yeah, these, needless to say, like there's no creasing at all. In fact, these I could wear on their own. They're so pretty on their own, and they set like matte and beautiful, and you know, I'll probably end up getting more. I wouldn't recommend the shimmery ones though. I think the matte based ones are the best, especially for, you know, like eyeshadow primer, if that's what you're going to be using it as. But yeah, I really, really love this. So the next product that I'm obsessed with is a brush, and this is a OCC brush, and I got this when I was at IMAX, because I was after this type of brush, and I couldn't, I was looking at a different brand's brush, but then they sold out, so I ended up going to OCC again, because I went there a few times, and I bought this, and honestly, this, I own a lot of blending brushes. I don't use any of them right now. This has like been the only one I've been grabbing for like months and months and months and months. I love this. It's like really, really soft, but like quite dense, so it like really does blend things perfectly. You can get right into the crease or, you know, anywhere. It's just like freaking amazing. I really recommend this. I'm definitely going to be trying more OCC brushes the next time I feel like I need like a splurge or something. So the next product I've had, you know, forever. This is like my, I think, third or fourth, maybe even, like I don't even know. But it's a mineralized skin finish by MAC, and it's in the shade Lyscapade, but you can barely see because it's almost gone. And yeah, I use this like pretty much every time I apply makeup, really. Like I do have other highlighters that I really, really like and stuff, but I always seem to grab for this. It just gives such a perfect glow. Like I'm wearing it today pretty much everywhere. I really do love this. This is like, I think, one that would suit most skin tones as well, because it's kind of, it's pale, but like obviously highlight is supposed to be pale, so especially if you're doing drag, like this is a really, really great one. It's got like a lot of pretty shimmer, but it's not like chunky glitter or anything like that. So moving on to, I guess, blushes. There's two blushes that I've been obsessed with lately. Sorry, this one's a bit messy. I just used it. This one is by, pretty much everything that I'm showing you is by MAC and Urban Decay, so. But yeah, this is a blush called Next to Skin, and it's like a matte blush by MAC, and it came out in a recent collection, and I fell in love with it. If you like the heroine contour that, you know, like from Illamasqua, like, it's basically an eyeshadow, but everyone uses it to contour like their nose and stuff. This is slightly paler, but it's like really buildable. You get like a lot more product for the price, and for me, I just think it blends better too. I think this, I did buy this and a Illamasqua Heroine eyeshadow at the same time because I ran out of my Illamasqua shadow. I haven't used it yet because I've just been obsessed with this. This has kind of replaced it, I guess, but it's a shame because I think this is limited edition, although I do think it's still in stock on Debenhams and House of Fraser and stuff like that if you do want it, which is, I suppose, a good thing, because usually when someone shows you a favourite limited edition product, it's like fucking gone, so. But yeah, I really, really love this. I did end up getting back up and I got one for a friend, so yeah, love that. The next one is called Pink Cult, and this is again another matte one from the same collection. Is still available. It's obviously like a pale, cool toned pink, so obviously that's kind of me all over. I tend to not wear like blushes that much, like contour based stuff yes, like blushes no, but just lately I've, like for the past month or so, I've been obsessed with them, especially pink based. I just think they're absolutely beautiful, like pink or purple based blushes is kind of my new love. Ironically I'm not wearing any today, but yeah, I really, really love this one, especially if you want just this, like, on your cheeks, like, in the middle of your nose for that kind of winter, you know, bitten, you know, like, frostbitten look or whatever it's called. I think this is, like, that perfect product for that, but also just a pretty beautiful blush. I love it. I get really excited looking at this colour. It's so gorgeous. So, yeah, again, still available if you like that. Moving on to kind of like eyeshadows and stuff, I'm just going to mention one palette, and I'm pretty sure that anyone who you know, keeps up with me on Facebook or anything like that knows this palette I have been in love with since I've got it. This is the Urban Decay Vice 3 palette. Yeah, this is what the shades look like. Beautiful. But yeah, I freaking love this palette. Honestly, since I got it, again, it's one of those products that I haven't really grabbed for anything else right now. I just keep grabbing for this palette because, you know, there's a bunch of colours and there's a bunch of neutrals and you can mix them together. It just depends on mood really, but every single eyeshadow that I've used so far in this, even like, I don't use a lot of pale mattes from these palettes usually, but I've been obsessed with the mattes in this too. I usually use like the dark ones for crease and stuff. But yeah, I have been absolutely dying for these. I think they're absolutely beautiful eyeshadows. One of the best palettes I think I've ever seen. I want to get a backup of it because, yeah, there's reds in this palette. I think that's like amazing. I think my favourites are Alchemy, Bondage, Sonic, and DTF because it just reminds me of a Dodolana, which is fun. So, yeah, love that palette. I think it's still available, so yeah, I think everyone should own this, to be honest. So moving on to lip products, I only have 3 things that I'm going to show you guys. One of them is a lip pencil, and this is the shade Night Moth, and yeah, this lip pencil is honestly my favourite lip pencil ever now. I kind of bought like a lot of nudes so that I could like, you know, kind of do that Kylie Jenner look. Only to realise that actually all you need is this lip pencil. I swear, honestly. I think personally this can make a red look amazing, this can make pinks look amazing, nudes, any colour you want you can get from this, because just because it's dark doesn't mean you can't go over it with the lipstick to lighten it, to basically turn it into, you know, like a darker version of that lipstick, which is like the perfect line for the lipstick obviously. Yeah, I love this. I pair this with pink plaid and it is amazing. It's an amazing combination. Yeah, I really, really think if anyone's going to look for a lip pencil that they want to wear with like a bunch of stuff, it's either this, which is obviously Night Moth, or Matte Plum, because that's a little bit more neutral, so I suppose it's a bit easier to kind of get to where you want to faster. But for me, obviously, I like a intense lip line usually, not to do. But yeah, love, love, love this. And the last 2 are lipsticks by MAC. One of them is the shade Fashion Revival, and this was from a recent collection. And every time I've worn this, I've got so many compliments, and I'm so bummed that I didn't get a backup. So hopefully at some point they'll either reprint it or I'll be able to get my hands on it somewhere. But yeah, it's just this stunning colour. It's the one that I wore in my last video actually. And I also wore it to one of my really good friends' birthdays, and they were asking me what colour it was and I couldn't remember. but it was this, and I just honestly every time I wear it, like someone says something, it's a beautiful shade, and I don't know, just always gives me like good mood. So the last lipstick I'm going to show you guys is one that I'm wearing today, and it's obviously like an old love, but like I think today I kind of wore it and realised just how much I loved it, and I thought, well, I might as well mention it. It's the lipstick Snob, and this is how much I have left. Like, for me, that's like a big deal. This is actually my second Snob too, so I always used to love this lipstick. I think it's because it's like, again, it's like kind of cool toned nudie pink, but obviously not everyone's into that type of colour, but I've always kind of liked it. It's almost got like a tinge of lavender to it. It's such a beautiful shade, and you know, wearing it today I just remembered like why I freaking loved it so much. It's just so pretty, and I do think it would suit a lot of people again. I think that Snob is one of MAC's classic lipsticks that I think that pretty much everyone knows the colour. And usually when someone wears it, like you'll pretty much know it's Snob or like a dupe of, so. So if you guys have any questions about any of the products I mentioned in this video or anything like that, then obviously feel free to pop them below. Thank you guys so much for subscribing if you have. Obviously I've noticed I've had a few extra subscribers lately, so hi guys, and thank you so much for subscribing to me. And I guess until my next video, I will see you all very, very soon. So bye guys. Mwah.